Welcome to Talking Off the Clock, the podcast where we dive into the people behind the titles and the passion that drives them. I'm your host, Helen, and December is here. And with the holiday season upon us, today's episode is all about giving back, community, and celebrating the impact we can have when we come together. Our guest today is someone who's been shaping TTEC Philippines for over 13 years and leading the charge in giving back through the TTEC Foundation. David Bernal, Executive Director of Operations, has a passion for culture, community, and creating meaningful experiences for both employees and the communities we serve. So, David, welcome to the podcast. We're so excited you're here.
So much. I'm absolutely ecstatic to be sharing my stories to you.
Awesome. Well, let's start right off, the bat with your journey at TTEC. You've been here at the company for over 13 years, moving from operations manager to executive director. So can you share a little bit about that journey and what kept you motivated all these years?
Yeah, I've got a bit of trivia about myself. My current tenure is 13 years, but I'm a boomerang employee. Prior to that, I have 5.5 years with TTEC. So a little over 18 years combined. I've been gone for like only 4 months. I had to leave because I had to take care of a personal issue and it got taken care of. And luckily, after that, there was an opening and I just called my previous VP and he open arms welcomed me back, and I'm so thankful. So just a little over 18 years, it has been an amazing journey. I wouldn't have gone that long if I'm not enjoying, if I'm not happy here.
Yeah, and if you could see David, like you probably have seen David. He's so involved, part of our social media. He's a yes leader. Great partner, and on top of that, very passionate about giving back, like he said. So I love, your level of involvement that over 18 years, you still keep the energy, David. I don't know how you do it. Like, I want the secret. Is there a secret?
Coffee, lots of coffee.
All the credit goes to coffee. Got it. All right. So, along the way, you've definitely led teams across multiple roles and regions. So how have those experiences shaped your approach to leadership today?
It varies for the role that I held across different regions. It's always important that you are well aware of the people that you're managing, who you are interacting with, most importantly, the clients, the kinds of clients that you work with. And over the years, I sort of have been given this great opportunity to be mentored by amazing leaders, current and previous. And one of the things that I've really learned from them is to always be creative. Stop putting yourself inside a box and always think of things that will really drive performance, engagement, getting that green KPIs, and of course, drive client relationships. It's very important. One of the things that my mentor told me that I always put into practice is that the business is 90% relationship, 10% performance. Relationship with our people, with my peers, with Ken, with Laura, with all of our executives, all the way up to the agent level, and of course, relationships that are built with our clients. Once we have that strongly built, it's going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3, managing operations and sites.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure, especially now, and as you've grown in these last 18 years in your career, now as you're leading operations for the Philippines, like I'm sure those relationships deem very valuable. So, how do you manage leading in such a influential role, right? And also heading out the TTEC Foundation, like our charitable foundation here at TTEC. How do you balance both roles, and what excites you the most about each of them?
Being in operations, I've always been an operations guy from the time I started my BPO or the call center, contact center journey several years ago. I'm not gonna say what year. People will calculate what my age is. But immediately after college, this is the only job I know and the only job that I have really embraced. I've learned a lot um, from. I always say that I've learned more in TTEC than what I've learned in college. So a little bit of trivia. Most of us do not really, or the jobs that we have now are not so much related to what we studied in college in the Philippines. And that's why, TTEC Foundation is very important because we help bridge that gap, connecting to different colleges, to different institutions, in making sure that there are curriculums that are built for future workforce of BPOs, of call centers. I love what I do with TTEC Foundation mostly because this is this is not in the list of my deliverables or tasks. This is something I volunteered to do. When the email came out that they're looking for a region POC for TTEC Foundation, I immediately told my boss that, hey, I would like to do this. It's gonna take some hours of my work, but I will definitely put in the effort and all of the resources that I have to make sure this is going to work. Um, I always go back to a story that I have that I always share with my peers. Growing up, I was from a very how do I say poor background. Um, I am left-handed, Ellen. So I text with my left hand. I grab my tennis racket, my badminton with my left hand, but I write with my right hand. And the reason is the school that I went to in elementary did not have armchairs for left-handed people. So I had to force myself to learn how to write. And it's a great story for me because it has pushed me to be an instrument to make sure that those inconveniences are removed from students, from young students in different schools that we support. And that's why TTEC Foundation is very close to my heart because I want to be able to change these scenarios within schools.
I love it. No, and such a simple experience, yet it really does. To your point, it can be a learning inconvenience or an obstacle for somebody young to overcome, and that is just a small representation of perhaps other aspects and other things they have to overcome in their lives, and it just shows in a school setting in sometimes in a simple or in a big way. So I love that story, David. And for those that
Thank
don't,
you.
yeah, for those that don't know, the TTEC Foundation, and help me out here, David, because I don't want to misrepresent. But the TTEC Foundation really does pour a lot into the children's education around the world. Philippines is a big participant of that, and it's honestly a big push that you in particular, because again, for those listening, I'm sure you're going to already tell, like, this is very close to David's heart as a thing that he spends his time on. But one of the biggest focus is education and children. Would you say that's right about the TTEC Foundation?
Yes, we love helping where we can. A lot of our school beneficiaries are employee nominated, where they graduated from, where they were alumni from. And they approach our employees approach us saying, hey David, or hey manager, I graduated from this school, it needs additional armchairs, or it lacks smart TVs, it lacks computers, maybe we could do something to help out. Because we are thankful for these schools for showering us with so much talents for our employee base, and it's our way of giving back.
So from David's young upbringing that really molded this passion of his to now being an influential leadership role, let's dive in the next segment on how exactly we're giving back this season of Given here at TTEC. David, now let's talk about giving back. Like you just mentioned, the TTEC Foundation in Philippines has been incredibly active this year in particular. Like, I feel like it's all over social. I always see an email internally that comes up. It's a new way of giving. Can you share what inspires you about leading this initiative, and maybe one of your favorite ones, which might be hard to pick, but maybe one of your favorite ones that you've come across this year?
One of my favorite ones, recent, we went to a school in Iloilo, which is like a plane ride away from Manila. It's in a very remote location, and the school doesn't have access to clean water. We made a donation to the school that built a deep well water system. So now the faculty, the teachers, the parents no longer need to walk 2 hours to the nearby town to get fresh water. They have their own supply of water now. I still go back to the school and check on things, and they're very appreciative. They're very thankful of what we did for them, providing that deep well water system.
I love that. That's amazing. And, being part of a global company, this is also a global podcast. So there's listeners from all over the world. And sometimes people think, a lot of organizations do hire in Philippines, but they don't think that there are these remote areas that do have these like basic life needs. So that is an incredible, I actually didn't get an email about that. And I'm going to call communications team and be like, why didn't I get that story? I love it. That's awesome. I can see why it's your favorite. And most recently also, David, I know the Cebu region, Visayas region, were hit by the typhoon, especially the Cebu this year, and the earthquake as well. Can you tell us about the foundation's response and the difference that it made in the people there?
Yeah, it's been very hard for our Cebu team. Cebu is one of our biggest locations in the Philippines. We've got more than 2,000 employees there. And it got hit back to back. Earthquake middle of October, then after 2 weeks there's a huge typhoon, and then after 2 weeks another huge typhoon that hit the area. We have a lot of employees that have been impacted. Their homes were flooded, their roofs were blown away by the strong winds, and as an organization we put in an effort to help these employees. We advanced the bonuses of the employees. We found vendors who could provide grocery baskets, roofs for the employees. But from a foundation perspective, we found a couple of schools, and the schools, the pictures that were given to us, they're very sad to see, mostly because there's just nothing left in the schools because of the earthquake. The current students that are going to the school would just hold their classes under trees or wherever there's a vacant space in the school where they could find shelter, and the teacher would just teach in that vacant space. We presented it to the board, and we are so thankful that the board has granted special approval for us to build classroom and to build a library for the two schools that we have supported. We're very excited to start the project very, very soon. We'll of course keep you posted, but it is something that makes me always stay proud to be part of TTEC and TTEC Foundation, because we do these amazing things for our community.
I love that, which is an incredible segue. I think the reason the TTEC Foundation is so successful is because people do voice and they express. They're a voice of their community to say, here's where we have a need. Can you help? Or here's where we should help. How are we going to be part of that change or that impact? And it's because of voices like yours and the teams and other employees around the world that really bring that community voice to the table, to the board, right? And be like, hey, how can we help? But I think we are able to make this impact, which is amazing. They're truly changing children's lives, communities' lives. And it's not just happening in the Philippines, it's happening again all around the world, which, it gets me excited if an employee is listening, or a future employee, dare I say, about how can they get involved in giving back. So is there any fun or creative ways people have participated this year? Or if they just want to get started, where should they go? How can they get, do they pick up the phone and call David? I don't want, all 50,000 plus employees calling you right off, tomorrow your inbox is going to be wild. But how can somebody get involved, and how would you encourage somebody to take that first step to participating in TTEC Foundation?
Thank you so much, Helen. I'd like to take this opportunity to promote to everyone that there are several ads that we are running across the site TVs with me talking. I think the employees are tired of my face already. Be seen talking about TTEC Foundation and all of the amazing things we do, but I have a detailed instructions process there on how they can nominate a school or an organization. It can be where they graduated from. It can be a school that within the community that really helps something. But one of the things we're excited about for 2026 is that we are expanding the scope of TTEC Foundation, not just for schools, but for different organizations like orphanages, animal shelter, and it will definitely widen the impact of what we can do and what we can provide for the community. So they just reach out to me, David.Bernal at ttec.com, and I'm happy to guide them on how to nominate an organization.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, David. And in this segment, we've definitely, first and foremost, felt inspired by the immediate impact of more recent events that happened, like the Cebu typhoon and the earthquake, and also feeling inspired about how I can take action as an employee or, again, future employee. So thank you for sharing. Carrying on to continuing the conversation of giving back with the TTEC Foundation, I hear there is a grand donation event happening on December 9th across 14 locations in the Philippines in particular. Can you tell us what employees and communities can look forward to?
Thank you so much, Helen. The TTEC Foundation Grand Donation event is on its third year this year. It's a great activity to really amplify the impact of TTEC Foundation within the community, because we do simultaneously across 14 locations in the Philippines, not just in Manila, not just in certain area, but everywhere where we can be of service, where we can be of assistance to our fellow Filipinos who are in need. It's going to be happening December 9th morning. We'll have as many as 500 employees who are volunteering to go to these schools and spend time with the students, to teach back, to sing with them, play with them, and of course spend some time with the faculty and assess really where other forms of assistance can be of service to them.
That's amazing. Like 500 people is no joke. That's a lot of people. And it's amazing turnout too that you're expecting. I mean, coordinating something like that across multiple locations sounds like a massive effort. Any fun behind the scenes stories or lessons from planning these events or leading up to it that you can share?
Yes, we have a lot. During the initial discussions with the school, we already have planned, because it's also towards the Christmas. And when during Christmas parties, we have parlor games, trip to Jerusalem, bring me, the staple games that we will so we will be assigned, like if I go to a school, I will be adopting a kid for 1 hour and I will be with the kid for that hour. I will be the partner of that kid in trip to Jerusalem and whatever relay we will be playing. It's very exciting for all of our employees because we don't have that time to really play with kids anymore because of our busy schedules, but it is that time of the year where we actually get to play outside our sites.
I love that. And is this only for employees or can the community come and participate as well?
We partner with the community, with the faculty, with the PTA, with the parents and teachers, everyone. So everyone's invited.
I love it. And what is the easiest way for them to be part of this giving back experience this holiday?
So all of our site leads have an assigned school already. They just need to approach their site lead and tell them that I would like to volunteer for that day and I would like to adopt a kid for 1 hour and play with the kid.
Okay, awesome. And if they're from outside the community, is there someone that they can reach out to, or how can they participate in this experience?
The TTEC logo is pretty big across the communities where we have presence in. So you just walk into our office, knock, and for sure someone will be of assistance.
Awesome. So find our offices, ask for David, and it sounds like from there you'll get all the details that you need. So David, be ready for the swarm of people.
Yeah.
Love it. So amazing. So, a lot of effort that goes into it, both for the community, David's efforts, the TTEC Foundation. So we're excited to see. So again, the date to remember is December 9 across 14 TTEC Philippines locations. So keep a lookout. If you're curious, stop by one of our TTEC locations. And if you want to be part of this too, like, it's easy. You just got to become an employee as well. And you can experience this maybe for 18 years, just like David has as well. So thank you for sharing that. Let's take a step back as we wrap up today's episode and make it a bit personal. Outside of work, how do you like to give back and enjoy the holiday season at your home, maybe with your family? What does that look like for you, David?
The last 3 years have been very life changing for me. I'm a single dad, so I have a 3-year-old. Her name is Willow,
Oh,
and all of my time outside work is just with Willow. I play with her. We go. Our favorite is to go on road trips. We do a lot of road trips. Um, she so she has a car seat at the back, but if there's heavy traffic, she finds a way to squeeze out of the car seat and be in the front seat. So I would have to stop all the time and bring her back to the back seat, car seat. She's growing up so fast. She just started school, nursery, 3 months ago. So I've met all of her classmates and the parents as well. And yeah, that's what's taking my free time
yeah.
now. But it's very rewarding. I wouldn't have changed anything.
I love it. And I love her name. Willow is such a darling name. If anybody's having a kid coming up, this is a great name choice. It sounds like she's an active, you said 3-year-old, right?
3, yes.
Okay, a very active 3-year-old. So sounds, yes, your hands are full, but it just adds to the holiday magic, especially for little ones. So I love that you get to, experience and cherish that, especially like you said, they grow up fast, David. They grow up fast.
They do.
And I'm curious, can you share a story where a small act of giving or effort had a big impact either at TTEC or in the community, just in your life journey so far? Can you share a small moment or effort?
One of the more recent ones I did, I signed up to be a mentor to 100 aspiring leaders
Wow.
in Manila. It's a huge task. It was through our coordination with the Contact Center Association of the Philippines. Um, and giving back can be a form of different ways and means. And for me, for this year, uh, having that opportunity to share what I have gained through experience, through the years that I've been with TTEC, from leadership to management, in different areas of professional life and career. It's also a very rewarding experience, and I get to share those with aspiring leaders who will one day be, team leaders or managers or even vice presidents, hopefully in the future. It has been I have learned, or I have gained a lot of friends over that mentorship session. And up until now, they hit me up on LinkedIn, they have questions, and I'm happy to answer all of their questions to ensure that they are supported. Because, when I was starting in the BPO industry, because this is quite new, during the early 2000s in the Philippines, everyone was, just grasping whatever is available. There really wasn't a standard structured approach on how we do leadership development. And it is something that, I would continuously want to be involved in terms of shaping our future leaders here.
I am obsessed with that suggestion. And it's something so, like your leadership said, so creative, right? Like, people don't sometimes think that giving can look like more than just money. People think, okay, I'm have to, just give all my funds to an organization. No, like,
Yeah.
you donate your time. So I love that idea. I'm literally gonna Google right after this call if there's something similar, because I think that's a brilliant way of giving back this season. So as you're listening to the podcast, hopefully you're feeling inspired, feeling, creative, and start thinking, how can you give back? It doesn't have to be a massive effort. It could be a small way, putting together a meal for somebody that's less fortunate, going to a soup kitchen, donating your time to mentor the next generation. There's so many ideas. And if you run out of ideas, I'm sure ChatGPT will be happy to provide you with some. But the point is that it's such a gift. Trust us, and it's trust David. I'm sure he could say, like, you'll gain more than when you get when you give to the community, when you give back, you gain so much more. Your heart is fulfilled, and I think there's just a spirit that comes in the season that just is really fulfilling. So David, truly thankful for you joining us today, for everything you do and have done during this time at TTEC and the TTEC Foundation and the communities we serve. So your story is truly reminding us that giving back isn't just for the holiday. It's a mindset and a practice that we carry forward every single day. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And to our listeners, if you're ready to make a difference this holiday season, check out TTEC Foundation initiatives in your community and explore ways you can participate both as employees, future employees. And if you're just curious, again, just walk through one of our offices. We'll be happy to share our way of giving to inspire you or to have you participate. And in true fashion, if you do want to join TTEC, if you're inspired by David's story, if you also want to be a TTECer, I encourage you to go to ttecjobs.com and check out our multitude of jobs. You could be one of this many awesome, at one of these many awesome Philippines locations, or if you're in a different part of the world, we're in Mexico, Athens, Brazil, you name it, we're just about everywhere. So just head on over to ttecjobs.com and check out our opportunities. Thanks for tuning in to Talking Off the Clock, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out more future and inspiring episodes like this. See you next time, and happy holiday season to all.